terrible, terrible chapter that did not need to be in this book.
And he's like, but it's Harry's birthday. I got to bake that man a cake. Yeah, he goes to the store, sits in the cake.
Welcome back, witches, wizards, and muggles to Squibs Corner. I'm Jeremiah.
And I'm Andrew, and we have a special episode for you today. This is the first time that we've done this.
Hopefully it'll be the only time. I'm
Hopefully
predicting it'll be the only time.
Hopefully it'll be the only time. It might not be the only time, but Jeremiah and I decided that because chapters 2 and 3 are both on the shorter side and relatively anticlimactic, we're just going to cover both chapters tonight. We're going to cover chapter 2 and we're going to cover chapter 3. And that's what we're going to do. You have no choice. But before we jump into chapter 2 and chapter 3, the Scar and the Invitation, we want to just thank everybody for listening. Thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. It's just really cool to see how many people are joining us along the way. It's super exciting. We love the comments. It's a blast. So sincerely, from Jeremiah and myself, thank you so much. And if you haven't shared this with a friend, do it. It helps the platform, and we're just having a lot of fun talking about Harry Potter and the wizarding world that is Harry Potter.
Yeah, this is great. When I first got into Harry Potter, would have never thought I'd have a podcast about it. Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
It's a blast. So we're going to chapter 2 of book 4, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Chapter 2 is The Scar. We want to recap the first chapter, chapter 1 of book 4, The Riddle House. And in the Riddle House, we meet a man named Frank Bryce. We learn about a town called Little Hangleton. We learn that the Riddles, there were 3 Riddles, Mom and Dad Riddle, and then their son, who was grown at the time, were all murdered mysteriously 50 years ago. Everybody in town blamed Frank, who was the gardener of the Riddle House. And Frank said, no, it wasn't me. I saw this strange-looking teenage boy that I've never seen before, scrawny, pale, dark hair. And he's the only one that I saw around the house. It had to have been him. Nobody believes him. Nobody else saw him. So Frank is found not guilty, right? They let him alone. He's able to stay at the cottage, his cottage on the Riddle House, for the next 50 years, tending to the lawn. And then one night he wakes up 50 years after those murders took place, and he sees lights on in the house. He thinks it's the local boys kind of terrorizing and vandalizing. So he goes up there, and he basically overhears Voldemort and Peter Pettigrew, or Wormtail as Voldemort calls him, having a conversation about a plan to possibly disrupt the Quidditch World Cup. He's got a loyal follower, a loyal supporter who's at Hogwarts.
Prophecy fulfilled.
Yeah, the prophecy fulfilled, right? Wormtail, Trelawney said in our last book that Wormtail was going to reunite and help Voldemort come back to power, and here he is, it starts. So we hear that Voldemort and Wormtail, they accidentally ran into a witch named
Bathilda
Jorkins? No, Jorkins.
Bertha Jorkins.
Bertha Jorkins. Yeah, Bertha Jorkins. Yeah, I wanted to say Bathilda at first. Yeah, Bertha Jorkins,
No.
who works for the Ministry. And so they got information from her. We're not sure what that information is yet. But once they got all that information, they murdered her as well. So Frank Bryce, he's like, oh my gosh, they're talking about they've already committed a murder. Now they're talking about killing this Harry Potter kid. I got to go stop them.
Stupidly.
Did not work out. Did not work out. So Voldemort kills.
I'm going to tell the police on. That's what you tell the criminal. I'm going to tell the police. That'll go good every time.
So Voldemort kills Frank Bryce. And as that happens, 200 miles away, Harry Potter's sleeping, but he wakes up. He has seen this all in a dream, which is actually in and of itself very important.
Oh, yes.
Very important. That's a theme that we get to enjoy throughout the next 4 books. So here we are. He wakes up, And what bothers Harry the most isn't necessarily that he had that particular nightmare or dream. It's the fact that his scar hurt. Right? It's the fact that his scar hurt. And we haven't...
Let's jump into that 7-word summary first before you get way too ahead of yourself.
Okay, I'm so excited. Obviously, I'm so excited.
At least one of us is.
I love this book.
I love the book, yes. But when it comes to this chapter, my 7-word summary, I'm not going to go easy. This chapter was terrible. I hated it.
I had 2 7-word summaries for this one. The first is, send the greatest wizard a letter? No.
No, why would he would he ask Dumbledore's opinion of anything?
And we'll get into this. My second one was Harry Potter, the chapter on Harry Potter.
So, okay, don't get me wrong. If you're just reading the chapter or listening to the chapter, you're just an average fan that's listening to Harry Potter. Depending on how close together you're reading or listening to the books, it might be okay. And I use might in the lightest sense of the word. But as it is as a book review podcast, terrible.
Annoying.
Terrible chapter that did not need to be in this book at all. But we'll get into our 7-chapter notables, which is 1 chapter notable, Andrew. And you lightly touched on it. Of course it's happening inside of your head, Harry. But why on earth should that mean that it's not real? Now that's a...
Ooh, I kind of like. I mean, that's a cool little reference.
Yeah, it's
obviously,
not to his vivid dreams. You know,
Yeah,
we hear about these things going on, and then Harry wakes up, and it's like, "Whoa, okay, was that a dream that Harry was having, or was it something actually happening?"
Yeah,
and you're right. This pops up throughout the series, and it's a very important bit of information. Did you have anything to add, or should we just go right into the first paragraph?
No, since you're going to cut me off before I get too deep into it anyway. I'm fine. My feelings aren't.
You'll have plenty of time because usually, just to let you listeners know, our scripts are usually between 9-16 pages, somewhere around there, give or take. This one's 4.
This one's 4.
At some point, I just stopped writing the script. It's like I can't do this. But,
well, I mean, and here's the thing: if you're listening or watching the podcast, you know what's happening with Harry Potter. You know all the stuff. So most everything that's talked about in this chapter.
What if you've read or listened to the books up to this, or even watched the movies up to this point?
Yeah.
You know what's going on. So this, and for it to be almost a whole entire chapter. At first, I was like, "Oh, it's just 2 or 3 pages." Oh no, it's the whole chapter.
Yeah.
But the beginning of the chapter, I agreed with it. It was okay. I didn't have any problems in the beginning.
Yeah.
Harry lay flat on his back, breathing hard as though he had been running. He had awoken from a vivid dream with his hands pressed over his face. The old scar on his forehead, which was shaped like a bolt of lightning, we didn't need that, was burning beneath his fingers as though someone had just pressed a white-hot wire to his skin. And I do get lightning bolt. I mean, that's Harry Potter. I mean...
Okay, sure.
It makes sense to include it. It does, but you could have just said, put his hand up to his forehead where his scar was.
We know about his scar. We know about his scar. Okay.
Take it away, Aaron.
So we're back at the Dursleys. Harry is now 14 years old. We've had his birthday, which I can't remember if it's mentioned in this chapter or the next chapter. The Dursleys completely forgot about. And he wakes up and he's thinking about the dream. And he's actually trying really hard to remember. He's like, okay, obviously Voldemort was there. Peter was there. Nagini was there. They were talking Actually, I don't. I'm sure Harry knew the snake was there, but this would have been the first time Harry learned of the snake in this dream. He would not have been introduced to Nagini before this dream.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was a Nagini before this dream.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So anyway, so okay, Voldemort was there. Wormtail was there. There was an old man there. Something about an old man. Did they kill the old man? They killed somebody else. Who was it? What was it? He's really trying to remember everything. And like any dream, the longer you're awake, the more the details just fade.
Yeah,
But he's thinking of Voldemort, and this is, what the book says. And a cold, high voice, the voice of Lord Voldemort. Harry felt as though an ice cube had slipped down into his stomach at the very thought. Such a good visual.
Oh, no,
Such a good visual.
I could just feel it.
Yeah.
No.
But just like dreams, this one had bits and pieces fading away, like I just mentioned. Yeah. And he did remember one very specific and pertinent piece of the dream to Harry. They had a plan to kill him, which I'm sure he wasn't surprised.
No. I mean, as we find out later, why would he go looking for someone that wants to kill him? Well.
well.
So far in the chapter, I kind of like it. He's just waking up, and we're thinking it's a dream, and real good use of words right there, and it's a real good tie-in because it's true. You wake up from a dream, you're like, oh wow, that was a good dream. What was it about? I don't know.
Yep, I got nothing.
It's just gone. So, and then we get into a brief reminder that this is Harry Potter. And this is where it all went downhill for me. We go through his room talking about magical books, his broomstick, Hedwig, more specifically Hedwig's empty cage, moving pictures, a Quidditch book, and then Privet Drive looked exactly like a respectable suburban street expected to look like in the early hours of Saturday morning. He was still worried about his scar hurting, but there's absolutely no way Voldemort would be near. Not in the Muggle world. He's fine.
No, and this was a good reminder. Books 2 and books 3 had no scar hurting. Right? No scar hurting in books 2 and 3, which is
maybe in 2, maybe.
I can't think of a time, like if there was a time that his scar hurt, maybe if it was in the Chamber of Secrets with Tom Riddle.
Yeah.
But even that, that Tom Riddle never came into fruition. And that, here's the thing. So when you read up on Horcruxes, which has been a long time since I've read up on Horcruxes, but it's the physical body of Voldemort that the Horcruxes want to get back to. The Horcruxes don't really care about other Horcruxes because other Horcruxes can't do anything for the other Horcruxes, right? So they're called back to the body. So, like there are times in the books where Harry is close to another Horcrux, and in the movies they make it look like there's this serious connection to Harry and the Horcruxes, and in the books there's just not as much. So I don't think in book 2, and I'd have to go back and read.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't think there's any sort of.
Now I'm wondering if the new series is which way they're gonna go on that.
Well, and those little details really didn't alter the storyline, right?
I mean, I thought it made it better.
Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah.
It was very neutral. It didn't, for him to be like, there were some cool things in when they destroyed the locket in the movie, Harry passes out or Harry falls down in the movie.
Yeah.
and it's kind of
Adds
counter.
drama.
It adds drama. It's counter to what like the Horcrux, the Harry Horcrux isn't connected in any way to the Locket Horcrux.
Yeah.
Right. It's the body that makes the difference. But anyway, like stuff like that didn't change it. Like you said, it made it dramatic. It made it there was some connection. So
I never had an issue with it.
no.
But so as we go on, we also get a reminder of some of the injuries that Harry has had at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
Oh, that's the name of the school. I'm glad I read this chapter because I had forgotten.
Yeah, me too. And then, but wait. We also get a brief reintroduction of the Dursleys because everybody forgot who they are.
We forgot about the Dursleys.
Oh, wait. Harry can't use magic.
Outside of school? Is that what it is? I can't remember.
Yeah,
What were the circumstances surrounding that?
Yeah, it must be. and how come he has no parents? Well, it goes over that too. And
why is he even living with the Dursleys? This is crazy.
Yeah, it tells us why he's living with them and how Voldemort had disappeared when he found out. And when Harry found out he was a wizard, and when he found out he was famous.
All good things. All good things.
I'm going to be honest right here. This made me not want to recap this chapter because it's just another reminder that where we are and that Harry is a wizard. And this is the fourth book. This is the fourth book.
Right.
And I could kind of understand, and I don't know if appreciate is too strong of a word for this, but he is waking up from that terrible dream and kind of looking around and trying to get his mind off and, okay, this is where I'm at. The recap in that sense of the way kind of makes sense, but to be in the fourth book and doing a recap, we even get some quotes from his thoughts of Harry and Hermione, what they would say about his scar hurting, and then we get a brief recap on the Weasleys. We are reminded that Arthur works for the misuse of Muggle artifacts and that Mrs. Weasley is a plump, nice witch.
Mm-hmm.
And as if we didn't end the third book all about Sirius Black, we even get a little reminder about him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, I have two theories of why she does this.
But man, to go from that banger of a first chapter into what the is this?
Well, even in the first chapter, she gets a little bit of a recap.
Yeah, but it's nothing.
Muggle? What did you
this.
say? What's a muggle? It means non-magic folk, But then you have this. So I've got two theories. My first theory is that it's a requirement of the editors, a requirement of the publishers.
I mean,
I don't know. I
can forgive JK if that is the reason, but if it's solely on her as already an established author at that point, right? She had already written some books. Just that's something I would have fought. Like, hey, we don't need this. We don't need this.
My second theory, which I think is more correct, is that J.K. Rowling is very philanthropic, especially when it comes to books around the world. Like she at one point was
Hold on, back up, rewind. That's the first time I've heard that word.
Philanthropy, like service, volunteer, giving, charitable type stuff.
Never heard of using that.
Okay, sure. Like I believe at one point J.K. lost her billionaire status because she donated so much money to charitable organizations, right? So my second theory is that she was thinking of kids in poorer areas of the world that might not have bookstores or libraries that have the full.
Might have to wait so long.
And maybe it's one of those like, oh, we're at the library. Oh, I've heard of Harry Potter. They have books 4 and 6. Well, let me read book 4. Everybody's so I don't like because just as like you and I, it's like it makes no reason on the fourth book of the series to.
I mean, I guess, yeah, but that all makes sense. It's just like solely looking at this as a recap. It honestly made me very mad to try to script this out.
Well, let's turn it on a brighter note. So we did get some new things out of this chapter. Okay, we got a couple new things out of this chapter. We finished. Obviously, we know Harry's dream because we got to read it in the first chapter. Now Harry's worried about his scar hurting, and the only thing that he knows to associate with his scar hurting is Voldemort's presence. So, like you said earlier, there's no way that Voldemort could be here. Number one, I don't know why he would assume that.
Because he's in the Muggle world. I would
yeah, but you literally saw Voldemort's head on the back of another wizard's head. You saw that, and you said, "There's no way he could be here." Bro, you need to go hide under that loose floorboard in your room until you know that Voldemort's not there. Anyway, so I thought it was very blasé of him to be like, there's no way Voldemort could be here. Well, then
he is very blasé. So I mean,
yeah. So we learned that he's received 2 letters from Sirius while being at the Dursleys, and they were not delivered by owls. They were delivered by colorful tropical birds. One or both of them, it was hard for them to fit through the window. So these were large tropical birds. Hedwig, we learned that Hedwig is saucy.
Not a fan.
She is the jealous type. She does not like other birds mingling with Harry. It is not something that she likes, which is funny. So we do see that Sirius is smart. Sirius doesn't disclose, right? He doesn't disclose where his location is, just in case the letters get intercepted.
Yeah, that is smart.
And Harry, and so, my chapter notable, which it should be in this chapter. So Harry was like, who should I write to about my scar? Should I write to Hermione? Should I write to Ron? Should I write to Dumbledore? And
I could have put it as a chapter notable.
Yeah. Like he's and it kind of goes through what they're saying, but it's like how like of all of the information and reconnaissance that Snape and Dumbledore do throughout the series, like how incredibly helpful this could have been to Dumbledore if Harry would have said, "Hey, I had a dream, mostly from Voldemort's point of view, about Voldemort, Wormtail, talking about a loyal follower at Hogwarts. They killed a ministry worker, they killed a Muggle, and they want to kill me."
Well, you would assume that Sirius would tell Dumbledore.
I assume that as well.
Yeah.
Right. I assume that as well. Because
he's thinking, father figure.
Yeah, and then and this goes back to something that I think would be cool in the series, right? If because if you remember at the end of book 3, Harry and Hermione go back in time a few hours. They save Buckbeak. They save Sirius Black. At one point, Dumbledore is able to speak with Sirius Black alone. Yeah. As the readers, we're not privy to that conversation. How cool would it be in the series?
There's going to be so much added.
If they give us a conversation there, if they give us Sirius.
So if you're listening to this and you're one of the people that says, "Oh, if they add something, it's going to ruin the whole book. Why would they add something that's not in the book?" You just got to remember there's so much that happened that we don't know how it happened or exactly what happened. This is what leads us in the Harry Potter world to come up with theories, to come up with new ideas, because a lot of it is the unknown and we're trying to fill in that blank. And hopefully with the HBO series, they fill in, I don't think they fill in all the blanks, but I think they can fill in a good majority of it.
Yeah, because you got to realize Sirius went to prison in his 20s.
That's crazy.
And so, like, his maturity and emotional, there's 12 years of real life growing that just didn't take place. So I could see Dumbledore in there, like, serious, just trust me on this.
Yeah.
We're going to get you out. But here's what's very important when you get out. Harry already looks to you as a father figure. You're best friends to his father. If there's ever anything he tells you, just let me know. There are very special things about Harry and Voldemort, and I need to. So it would just be cool just to add. I don't need a 30-minute conversation, but just give us that little behind the scenes there. Like it would just be cool.
That brought up some raising Harry like a pig for slaughter.
Well, and I don't think he would tell Sirius that.
No, but it's just
I don't
like
think.
you saying that. First thing that popped into my head.
Yeah, so that would be neat. So anyway, so he opts not to write Dumbledore a letter. He does write Sirius a letter, and he doesn't mention the dream. Correct? He doesn't say I had.
No, he just
he doesn't say it. Just mentions hey my he's like hey my scar. Yeah, a weird thing happened this morning though. My scar hurt again. Last time that happened it was because Voldemort was at Hogwarts. But I don't reckon he could be anywhere near me now, can he? Do you know of cursed scars? Yeah. And then it's like, there's no point putting in the dream. He didn't want it to look as though he was too worried. So again, he's withholding information. He's not telling the whole story. And it's like, look, Harry, let us know. So anyway, so chapter ends. He sends the letter, or he writes the letter to Sirius, decides to write the letter to Sirius. And that's
sends Hedwig, and she's like,
well, he doesn't do that at the end. He doesn't do that at the end of chapter 2.
Oh, okay.
He does that at the end of chapter 3. So he writes this whole thing. And
that's right.
Yeah, and then.
So let's jump straight in to the 7-word summary for chapter 3. Should we do that? We don't need to recap chapter 2 because
we don't need to recap chapter 2. We just did that full recap.
So we're going to just jump right into now chapter 3, the invitation.
The invitation. Okay, so my 7-word summary is going to happen right after this music.
Hey, it's not too often we get the music twice in one episode.
The music twice in one episode. I love it. Okay, so my 7-word summary. Let me bring you back on screen. Okay, so my 7-word summary is checkmate, Vernon. Harry gets his way now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I was listening to the dramatized adaptation of this, and the way Harry kind of had his attitude towards
swag.
Vernon.
Oh,
Yeah, he's kind of smirking, and it was nice. It was nice. My 7-word summary, I kept it pretty simple. Take me to the Quidditch World Cup. And I know it doesn't happen in this chapter, but yeah, that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
That's where we're headed.
So again, another short chapter, but I do think there were 7 chapter notables to this one, and there's some.
This chapter, it wasn't completely unnecessary. Last chapter, we could have put the handful, the 2 or 3 important things into this chapter. Sure, just fine.
Yeah.
But
okay, so here's our 7-word summaries. Dudley the Disappointment. 2, the Quidditch World Cup. 3, Muggle communication struggles. 4, Vernon's Dilemma. 5, Vernon's Dilemma. Again. 6, Weasleys aren't playing around. And 7, Percy's new job.
I'm pretty sure it's the next chapter where the Weasleys just. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. So the first paragraph in chapter 3, the invitation of book 4, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. By the time Harry, remember, he woke up with a dream. The scar's hurting. He just writes this letter to Sirius, folds it up. By the time Harry. And Hedwig's not back yet, right? So Hedwig's not in her cage.
You're right. That's all that happens in that chapter. He woke up, his scar hurts, he writes a letter. Well, holy.
That's all that is. We get the recap. But he wakes up, his scar hurts, he decides to write a letter. It's going to be serious. He writes a letter. That
makes the chapter sound even more ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, so first paragraph. By the time Harry arrived in the kitchen, the three Dursleys were already seated around the table. None of them looked up as he entered or sat down. Uncle Vernon's large red face was hidden behind the morning's Daily Mail, and Aunt Petunia was cutting a grapefruit into quarters, her lips pursed over her horse-like teeth.
What a terrible description of her.
Yeah.
Man,
JK is so good at describing people we're supposed to like and people we're supposed to. Horse-like teeth, the size of a killer whale, toad-like face. Yeah.
So we basically start chapter 2 with, we've talked about Harry waking up from having a nightmare about Voldemort. He decides not to send an honest letter to the most powerful wizard in the world, but to a fugitive on the run about the nightmare and the scar.
And that was my fault. He didn't even send a letter about the nightmare. Just sent a letter about the scar.
Yeah. Just, Harry gets pretty bold, and we'll talk about it. Talk about it when we get to it. But this right here is a bold move, but later it's even worse. Yeah. So Harry heads down to breakfast where the three Dursleys are all sitting around the table. Breakfast that morning would be 1 entire quarter of grapefruit for each of them. Chapter notable number 1, we learned that, Dudley's been getting terrible grades, which they don't care about. He's a bully, and he's gained so much weight that he's wider than he is tall. And the school outfitters don't make pants big enough for Dudley to wear. Hence, a quarter of grapefruit for everybody. If Dudley has to suffer, so does everybody else. Though, it did seem that Harry's quarter piece of grapefruit was smaller than Dudley's. But the one thing I like here is, I think Vernon... So he gets bad grades. And what does Vernon say? Something?
Oh, the teachers just don't understand him.
Yeah, he didn't want like a.
Yeah, he's a very gifted boy whose teachers don't understand him. And we don't want some swatty little Nancy boy for a son anyway.
That's so great.
And then the bullying, Petunia said, he's a boisterous little boy. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Denial.
Denial.
Well, Harry didn't mind, though. Once Harry returned home from Hogwarts to find this new diet trend sweeping number 4 Privet Drive, he immediately sent Hedwig to his friends, and they hooked him up with all sorts of snacks and baked goods. He even received not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 birthday cakes on his birthday, all of which the Dursleys knew nothing about.
Now, here's the fun thing. Can you name me the 4 people that sent him a birthday cake?
I assume Hermione, Ron, Hagrid, and Sirius.
Yes, Sirius. Yeah. So I like to think Sirius is literally on the run.
He keeps getting stuff.
And he's like, but it's Harry's birthday. I got to bake that man a cake.
I gotta go to the store.
Yeah, he goes to the store, sends him a cake. It's like, Sirius, you're a good godfather. You're a godfather.
He probably walked into the store as a dog and just stole everything. So.
Yeah. So they're all sitting down. We'll call it breakfast. And the doorbell rings. Uncle Vernon gets up. He goes out. And they hear laughter from the kitchen. Like, what is that? Vernon walks into the kitchen, looks at Harry, and he's like, you, living room, now. So they get into the living room, and Harry's like, what is this about? Uncle Vernon holds out a letter, and it's written to Harry. So Vernon reads it aloud. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Dursley, we have never been introduced, but I am sure you have heard a great deal from Harry about my son Ron. As Harry might have told you, chapter notable 2, the final of the Quidditch World Cup takes place this Monday night, and my husband Arthur has just managed to get prime tickets through his connections at the Department of Magical Games and Sports. I do hope you will allow us to take Harry to the match, as this really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Britain hasn't hosted the Cup for 30 years, and tickets are extremely hard to come by. We would, of course, be glad to have Harry stay for the remainder of the summer holidays and to see him safely onto the train back to school. It would be best for Harry to send us your answer as quickly as possible in the normal way, because the Muggle postman has never delivered to our house, and I am not sure he even knows where it is. Hoping to see Harry soon, yours sincerely, Molly Weasley. P.S. I do hope we've put enough stamps on it. After reading the letter, Uncle Vernon, chapter notable number 3, Muggle communication struggles. And this is not the first Weasley Muggle communication struggle.
Oh, no.
But Uncle Vernon pulled out an envelope. The book says that every bit of it was covered in stamps, except for a square inch on the front into which Mrs. Weasley had squeezed the Dursleys' address in minute writing. I used to only think that just the front of it was covered in stamps. But the book says that every bit of it was covered in stamps.
Front and back, that would make sense. That would make sense.
That would make, yeah. And the fact that she says, I do hope we've put enough stamps on. Love it. Love it.
I also find it funny that I'm sure you've heard all about, Ron or us. Nobody believes how rotten the Dursleys are and that he cannot speak of anything at all. Nobody believes him.
Yeah.
And I find it, I would just assume Ron had said, like, oh, the Dursleys are like this. This is what Harry says. But for Molly just to go on as if, I do know that you've probably heard about it. No. Harry hasn't said anything to me about this.
Yeah, if you look in the books, while Harry's at Hogwarts, he doesn't elaborate at all what it's like to be with the Dursleys.
Yeah.
Right? He's in Hogwarts, and he's like, I am so pro-Hogwarts.
Yeah.
I don't have time to be anti-Dursley. Like, there's little things here. Oh, did you get something from the, oh, they brought me, gave me a used sock. Different things like that. But we never get that.
Yeah, he always said, oh, you don't know what it's like living with the Dursleys.
Yeah.
So, all of that being said, envelope full of stamps. We assume now, front
and back.
I just love how Harry responds. She did put enough stamps on then.
Yeah, just straight faced to Uncle Vernon. So good.
That's so great.
Well, she did put enough stamps on then.
Harry then he's like, so can I go? But now Uncle Vernon has a dilemma. He knew that Harry wanted to go to that Quidditch World Cup and then spend the next 2 weeks with the Weasleys, and that would make Harry happy. Uncle Vernon didn't want to make Harry happy, though he didn't want Harry to be in his house. But Harry wasn't happy when he was at number 4 Privet Drive because Uncle Vernon made sure he wasn't happy. So, stalling so that he didn't have to make a decision immediately, Uncle Vernon stupidly started asking Harry questions. And I added stupidly in there because he asked about Mrs. Weasley, who is clearly a witch. He also asked about Quidditch, which is certainly something related to the wizarding world, which Vernon wants absolutely nothing to do with.
Nothing.
Harry tried to answer, but when Harry said it was played on Uncle Vernon knew his battle was lost because he didn't even let him finish the word broomstick. He just said broom.
Enough. All right.
Apparently, Uncle Vernon doesn't like to hear about brooms.
My man hates sweeping.
Yes. So in one last effort to maintain control, he asked what Mrs. Weasley meant when she said, send us your answer the normal way, which I'm pretty sure Vernon already knows this.
I think he knows, yeah.
Yeah, so Harry couldn't help himself seeing Uncle Vernon teetering on his decision, he went for the death blow. Normal for us, outpost. That's what's normal for wizards.
I got a pop quiz for you.
It's about time. We are lacking on the pop quizzes.
Uncle Vernon and Aunt Petunia have seen many letters delivered magically to number 4 Privet Drive. What was the only instance where they saw an owl deliver a letter to number 4 Privet Drive?
I assume they saw the owls when Harry was trying to get his acceptance letter, but I'm assuming that's not what you're talking about.
No, because the books never show. They just it comes in the mail. In the movies, there's a bunch of owls, hanging out outside. But in the books,
it's when the Masons were over.
Yes, yes, nice.
It just hit Mrs. Mason right on the head, didn't it?
My
It's
wife
just
is
some
afraid
sort
of
of joke.
birds. Okay, so stupidly, as Jeremiah so eloquently put it, Uncle Vernon is asking questions about the wizarding world, but he doesn't like to talk, nor does he want to hear about the wizarding world. So he's
Very
like,
smart I am.
yeah. So he's like, I don't want to hear about this. So he and Harry kind of get in this little argument. He's like, how dare you talk to me like that after all we've done to you? The clothes on your back. And he's like, these clothes are Dudley's hand-me-downs. I've had to roll up the sleeves 5 times, and the pants are baggy. So they get into this little row about Harry's time with the Dursleys and what they've done to him. And so Harry finishes the argument by saying, okay, I can't see the World Cup. Can I go now then? Only I've got a letter to Sirius I want to finish. My godfather. And that stumps Uncle Vernon right in his tracks. He didn't know Harry was writing to Sirius.
You're writing to him, are you?
Well, yeah. It's been a while since he heard from me, and, he doesn't. If he doesn't, he might start thinking something's wrong. So we already saw chapter notable number 4, Vernon's dilemma with Harry would be happy if he goes to the Quidditch World Cup and the Weasleys, but I don't want Harry to be happy.
But I don't want him in my house.
But I also don't want him in my house because every time he's in my house, I'm worried the neighbors are going to find out that we're harboring a wizard. Yeah. So now, chapter notable number 5, Uncle Vernon has another dilemma. If Vernon tried to stop Harry from writing to Sirius, then Sirius would think that something was wrong with Harry and he would come check on him. If Vernon didn't let Harry go to the Quidditch World Cup, then Harry would write to Sirius. And Sirius would know that Harry was being mistreated. And he would come and check on Harry. The battle was won, and Vernon had to concede.
Well, all right then. You can go to this this World Cup thing. You'll write and tell these Weasleys that to pick you up, mind. I haven't got time to go dropping you off all over the country. And you can spend the rest of your summer there. And you can tell your godfather, tell him that you're going.
He tries to give him permission, but just as angrily and insultingly as possible.
And to add insult to injury, Dudley had been trying to listen to the conversation and was pretty shocked that Harry was happy.
Yeah, it's like, that did not go how I thought it was going to go.
Well, I like this part right here. I think doesn't Harry say something like, that was a good breakfast. I'm very full, aren't you, Dudley?
Well, and what was funny is when Petunia gave Vernon the piece of grapefruit, he's like, is this it? And Petunia's like staring dagger. Yes, of course. Yeah, and this is what we're having. So as soon as Vernon gets up to go get the mail, Dudley eats his corner of the grapefruit. So now Vernon's going to go back and he's not even going to get. But we know from the very first chapter of book 1 Harry or Vernon, he can just walk across. He can just walk from his office to the cafe to the bakery. So he's good. He's golden.
That's what I thought the whole time.
Yeah, he's fine.
So Harry headed upstairs to prepare for his escape from the Dursleys. Shortly after entering his room, he was struck on the side of the head by the owl that Sirius had gifted to Ron at the end of the 3rd year. He looked down to see a letter at his feet. He recognized Ron's handwriting immediately.
Oh, and Hedwig was back.
Yeah.
Hedwig was back.
Okay, this is a different owl. This is Pig.
Correct.
Harry, Dad got the tickets. Ireland versus Bulgaria. Monday night. Mum's writing to the Muggles to ask her to stay. They might already have the letter. I don't know how fast Muggle Post is. Thought I'd send this with Pig. Anyways, chapter notable number 6. We're coming for you whether the Muggles like it or not.
The Weasleys are not playing around. We're coming no matter what.
You can't miss the World Cup. Only Mum and Dad reckon it's better that we pretend to ask for their permission first. If they say yes, send Pig back with your answer pronto, and then we'll come and get you at 5 o'clock on Sunday. If they say no, send Pig back pronto, and we'll come and get you at 5 o'clock on Sunday anyway. Hermione's arriving this afternoon. Chapter notable number 7. Percy started work. The Department of International Muggle Cooperation.
Magical cooperation.
Oh, what did I say?
Muggle. Muggle.
Don't mention anything abroad while you're here unless you want the pants board off of you. See you soon, Ron. Harry was very confused about the name Pig. He wasn't sure that was the name of the owl or if Ron just had really bad handwriting. But Harry wrote a quick message back to Ron.
Ron, it's okay. The Muggles say I can come. See you 5 o'clock tomorrow. Can't wait. Harry.
And I love how he calls them Muggles instead of the Dursleys.
The Muggles. That's you know.
That's how much he doesn't like them.
Yeah. So Harry writes that brief letter, attaches it. It's almost like he's got to catch Pig. Like Pig is just all over the place.
Oh yeah.
So he gets Pig. He puts the letter on there. And then he sends it to the Weasleys. And then he takes the letter to Sirius, and he writes another little thing on there. Hey, Sirius, I'm going to be at the Weasleys for the rest of the summer. If you need me, I'm there. And I love how it's like Hedwig stood there very still with her leg out. And then he attached it, and then, she flew off like just very dignified, right? Yeah. So Hedwig was annoyed that Pig was there, was annoyed that the 2 tropical birds were there. And it's like she just had to show Harry how lucky he is to have an owl like her. Owl. Love Harry. So
and this is where I thought Harry was getting a little bold too. I'm going to the World Cup. I'll be at the Weasleys. And then just send it on out to Sirius. I mean, he's a kid. He's excited. Of course he's going to do that. But I was like,
yeah,
Sirius isn't disclosing his location. Maybe you shouldn't either.
Well, I don't know.
And did he put the name Sirius on the letter? Because I know at one point he stops using Sirius.
Yeah. So the letter was at the end of book 2 or chapter 2. So let me see here. Okay. Dear Sirius.
Yeah.
Thanks for your last letter. Yeah. So he put Sirius on there.
Very, very bold of Harry. But like I said, he's a kid. He's not thinking about that right now at this point.
All very true. And then so then he just sends, if you want to contact me, I'll be at Ron Weasley's for the rest of the summer. But it's like, he doesn't need to know where you are.
Yeah, because
these magical birds, they can just find anybody. Find anyone anywhere. So last chapter of book 3, Harry watched her, being Hedwig, out of sight, then crawled under his bed, wrenched up the loose floorboard, and pulled out a large chunk of birthday cake. He sat there on the floor eating it, savoring the happiness that was flooding through him.
What flavor do you think it was?
Ooh.
If you're making me a
didn't-
cake and it's not chocolate, then you're wrong.
See, I love a lemon cake. I love a good lemon cake. That's kind of my
Yeah,
that's kind of my
lemon's pretty
jam.
good. Lemon meringue pie. I like
Ooh, lemon meringue
cheesecake.
pie is good. I love lemon
But like-
bars.
But like birthday cake, if it's not chocolate, I'm gonna be disappointed.
A nice chocolate cake. Ain't nothing wrong with a good chocolate cake.
yeah,
nothing
make
good
me a
with the
strawberry cake for my birthday. You just ruined my birthday. Thanks.
I'm in though. I'm all in on strawberry cakes. I'm in
I don't know.
every cake. I'm
My
in.
son's birthday this past year, or this year, he wanted strawberry or something like that, and I was like, "Aw." I was disappointed in the cake.
So Harry had cake, and Dudley had nothing but grapefruit. It was a bright summer's day. He would be leaving Privet Drive tomorrow. His scar felt perfectly normal again, and he was going to watch the Quidditch World Cup. It was hard just now to feel worried about anything, even Lord Voldemort.
Okay, way better than chapter 2. Chapter 2, terrible. We learned a few good things. One very important thing with Harry's vivid dreams. Other than that, I mean, that little stuff could have been sprinkled in here. I mean, we just did not. Unless your theories turn out to be true, they make
Who knows?
sense. So,
Who knows?
you
Yeah,
know.
who knows?
But this chapter was a lot better. I love that Harry seems like every time he's with the Dursleys, gets a little ballsier. Right?
Yeah, it gets a little more bold. Like even in the book, it says, he was done, taking crap from them, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like, no, I'm not putting up with this. So it's good to see the interaction between him and Vernon. You get very little of Dudley and Petunia, which is fine, but the fact that he puts Vernon in his place twice.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
It's nice.
And we're on chapter 3, and Harry's already planning on leaving. So that's pretty good. And we don't get into Hogwarts until, like a quarter of the way through the book, I think.
It's
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
This was our biggest prelude. And what's wild is the chapter starts in August, or the book starts in August. And Hogwarts starts September 1st. So we get a lot that happens within the next.
But this chapter is pretty good because it's kind of a setup for a couple things to come. And it's way better than chapter 2. Still like opening up the book. But we didn't have any recaps or anything like that.
Yeah.
A little bit of the Dursleys, a little bit about Percy, being graduated and getting one of the jobs, or kind of in the field he wanted to be in, the Department of International Magical Cooperation. So, we get a little bit of updates about what's going on. That's what we needed, was updates, not recaps.
Not recaps, updates. Yeah. And Percy, the reason that was a chapter notable is that Percy's new position at the Ministry is a very prominent, piece of
plot.
plot.
In later chapters, the twins start giving him crap for it.
Yeah.
How's that cauldron report coming, Percy?
He doesn't even call him a Weatherby like he calls him. Yeah, it's so good. But
how's that report coming, Weatherby?
Yeah, fun chapters. I feel like she could have made 2 and 3 just one chapter if she really wanted to get those recaps in there, sprinkle it in. But book 3 gets entertaining, and then book 4 or chapter 4. Chapter 3 was entertaining. I know I need sleep.
Yeah.
But very excited. But the next chapter is fun. Next chapter we get our first look into Wizard Wheezes.
Yeah.
We don't know what it is, but we get We get our first look. We get another
Molly's
look
not
into
too
the
happy.
flu network. Arthur's upset. Like like it gets it gets wild. So the next time you hear from us,
Arthur's upset. I think he's just trying to appease Molly. I don't think he's actually upset when he's upset.
well,
Upset, quotation marks.
I think this one is a valid, and obviously we'll talk about it next episode. But he works in the misuse of Muggle artifacts. So he's all about having good relationships with Muggles. So yeah, great, so excited.
Yeah. So join us next time as we discuss Chapter 4, Back to the Burrow, or well, depending on the order you're listening to this. We might be able to, sneak a little brief episode in if we, get a Harry Potter trailer teaser before then.
I'm fingers crossed. I would love to see that.
Yeah. I'm hoping by the time you guys hear this, you've already seen it. And if not, go back one episode. Go back and see it. Yeah.
You need a Harry Potter recap.
Me?
Yeah, they all need a Harry Potter recap.
And if you haven't hit that follow button or subscribe button or whatever button you need to press to get notifications and be able to see what we're doing, I don't know what you're doing, man. Vernon has brainwashed you. It's all down to you. You loved Chapter 2. So in that case, unclick the follow button, unsubscribe. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. And share this with who, Andrew?
All of your Potter friends.
Ah, yes. Go ahead and sign us out, Andrew.
To all of our Squibs Corner family, we're coming for you whether the Muggles like it or not.
Squibs Corner is hosted by Jeremiah Lobaugh and co-hosted by Andrew Beecham, myself. We would love to hear from you, so drop us a rate and review. To inquire about being a guest, or if you have questions, comments, or just want to give us your Harry Potter story, email us at squibscorner@gmail.com. To watch Harry Potter merch unboxings, follow Jeremiah's YouTube, Accio Potter Guy. Lastly, you can leave us a voice memo and follow us on Instagram at Squibs Corner Podcast.